What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where right hot off the press, I bring to you some of the best NFL draft prospects for this year's draft. Going on year 5 of doing this. And this is a tight end, man. He's coming from Northwestern, and this guy is a big play kind of guy. This is a type of guy where I don't know if his favorite football player was Odell Beckham, but he makes those kind of catches. He's a great blocker. He's a speedy tight end who can really do it all. If you ask me, he is a Swiss Army knife of a tight end who any NFL team that takes and snags this guy in the draft is going to get not only a blessing, but a guy who's going to be a curse to anybody that he faces up against. Today, we're going to get to know the man beneath the helmet and also talk about his tape and really what the next steps are for him. He just declared for the NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome Thomas Gordon out of Northwestern. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Doug. I appreciate you having me on today, and appreciate that introduction, man. That was awesome, and just excited overall to answer some questions, have a good convo with you, and let's see how this goes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now, you were a 3-star recruit coming out of Texas in high school. I read online, absolutely balled out. It seems like you were the guy who really decided games based off the plays that you made, and that's why Northwestern really liked you a lot. And man, you got a pretty cool story about Northwestern too, and how you ended up there. But before we get into all that, man, where are you from originally, and how'd you fall in love with the game of football?
I'm from Houston, Texas, and I mean that kind of speaks for itself when you ask why I fell in love. Like you grow up, and like Andrew Luck went to a high school nearby when I was a little bit younger. Kind of got to watch him play. Going to high school football games as a kid, I was like, dude, that's just amazing if I could like do that someday. There's so many fans at the stadium and stuff like that, and watching Texans. There's a million football teams down here, and so I got into really early. I played flag as a first grader and then tackle as a second grader. That puts me about like 18 years now playing football. And ever since, like I just went to a first game, I knew I loved it and wanted to be on that stage. And grew up, got better, got taller, and was able to have a pretty good career in high school. And then that kind of led to college, and now I just want to extend that to the pros.
I love it, man. Love it. And what initially led you to Northwestern, man?
My relationship with Coach Fitz was pretty solid, and I really liked how I just overall the academic side of it was cool. How they were in the Big Ten championship in 2018. They'd won 10 games through the last 4 years, beat some big teams. So I was really felt like I was able to play in the Big Ten conference where a lot of tight ends come out of two. Attend a top 10 institution academically and kind of do the best of both, and then be kind of right near the city of Chicago. I thought it was just a home run decision for me to make when I had the chance to do it.
Love it, man. I'm gonna get you in trouble with this next question, man. Which city has better food, man? Houston or Chicago?
You can't do that to me. I mean, I think Houston's the capital of the world with some Tex-Mex food, but I think I've really enjoyed some of the different Chicago style foods they've had up there. So I like
Love
that.
it, man. Love it. Yeah, I agree. Hey, I used to live in San Antonio, Texas, so I had a lot of access to Houston, and I know what you're talking about, man.
San Antonio is great too. I like San Antonio for eating. I was at the Alamo Bowl last year, so I'm a big fan of San Antonio as well.
Love it, man. Love it. Alamo City, awesome. And man, obviously, man, you were a huge star in college, man, and you made some amazing plays. You had some really, really big games, especially against Duke this past season. One thing that stood out to me, man, your speed, your size, you're just a really great player, man. And I love your tape. I want to take and ask you, man, that Duke game where you had that one-handed catch, man. Is that something you often do? Because I saw a lot of one-handed catches from you in your highlight reel.
I mean, I was able to do a few of them in college. I kind of grew up in the backyard just with my dad every day. He probably got really annoyed with me because I would always just beg him to throw the ball to me. And then as I got older, I was like, this is too boring. Like, start throwing it harder and harder in like different spots. So I kind of just grew up kind of doing that stuff. I also used to go to LSU games, and I saw Odell play with Jarvis Landry back in the day and saw those catches. So that was kind of an inspiration. And I just kind of like doing it. I don't do it on purpose. It's kind of instinctual, if that makes sense. Like, I have one hand, the ball's too far out one way, so I kind of just stick it out there. And when it happens, it works. It's pretty fun.
Love it, man. Love to hear it. And the way you play, man, like it's easy to see that, okay, you're like a receiving tight end, but you can block really well. In your opinion, how would you describe your style of play?
A mix of both. A true traditional tight end. I mean, everyone wants to label tight ends these days as a Y or a W. Y being the blocker and W being more the receiver. But I just
Mhm.
feel like I don't really have one of those situations. I feel like I can do both. I played both at Northwestern for a few years, and I just want people to understand I can do it all. If that makes sense. There's no like hindrance to my game.
Love it, man. What makes you more excited, man, to make that big catch on a crucial play, get that first down or touchdown, or pancaking somebody, man? Which is your favorite?
Coming out of high school, I would have told you making the big catch, and then kind of really getting into the nitty gritty of the Big Ten and being able to block people. I think pancaking somebody, another man against his will on the ground. That's also a very good player on scholarship. I think that might be right up there now with the catching a big play.
I love it, man. You're a team first guy, kind of guy. It seems.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Who are some players specifically at the tight end position that you've really mirrored your game after?
I really like Jake Butt back in the day. His college film. Um, a guy I grew up watching was Jimmy Graham. Was really fun to watch.
Ooh,
Kind of had a little basketball background.
yeah.
And now in the NFL today, I like Zach Ertz. I like Kelsey, but I think Kittle, the way he blocks is kind of the most how I try to model my game, especially on wide zone and stuff like that. We watched a lot of his film this year in our tight end room, and I was very impressed with that stuff.
Love it. You bring a lot of athleticism to the position. You had a touchdown, I believe it was last year against UTEP.
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, that was awesome, man. I
That
love
was,
it.
that was a fun one. We ran a little fake stock, like bubble screen, fake it, and I went up the sideline and it got him pretty good. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, you ate on that one. Was football always your only sport, or did you play anything else?
I played basketball up until senior year of high school. I was big into AAU. I was at one point on like a shoe team, Under Armour Association circuit team. So we travel around, play the best town in the country. And then I realized that being a 6'5" post wasn't really going to work when the lined up against some 6'9" kids as a freshman. So I started to take football more serious when I went on those trips.
Nice, man. Were you a shooter, a dunker, a defensive guy, or
I was
both?
a defensive guy and a rebound kind of guy.
Okay, that's like me. That's awesome,
I
man.
had my first dunk in the 8th grade, which was fun, but that's kind of I started being a defensive rebound guy.
Love it, love it. That's what the game's missing today is just defense. As
There's no defense anymore.
man, yeah, Steph just shooting at will. It's
It's crazy.
it's pretty wild, man. Well, no, man. Any team that picks you up, man, whether it be UDFA or somewhere in one of the rounds, man, they're gonna get a player who is electric, who can really do it all. When I watch you play, I could see you on a team like the Houston Texans, maybe your hometown team. I'm not sure if that was your squad growing up, but yeah, they feed the tight end a lot there, or even Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens. It's centered around like two or three tight ends. I could see you fitting into a group like that as well too. When it comes to NFL, man, what's something that you want coaches, scouts to know about you that perhaps they may not know already?
I mean, really, I just want them to know football is kind of everything to me, and the biggest thing about me is I enjoy the process of it the most. I mean, it's not just playing in front of everybody or doing anything like that. It's more like being able to manhandle somebody, waking up to lift, like all that stuff. It's the process is what I'm most fond of in the whole deal. And yeah, I would say that's what I would want people to know.
Love it, man. Love it. Do you got a alter ego out there, man? I always like to ask some people they become like a super villain or superhero or what's your
No, not
mindset going
really.
with it?
I mean, some people like if I make a catch like that, they call me Velveeta Cheese because the Big Ten one after the Duke game posted like it was Vita Cheese Hands of the Week, and they like made it all like orange and yellow, and then like me snagging the football and stuff. So that's kind of like one alter ego. Nothing too crazy though.
That's cool, man. And that guy, he had some pretty good coverage on you. If we're talking about the same play, like you just put your arm out there, you just brought it in, man. So like those hands are gonna bail out the quarterback in so many different cases, man, at the next level, in which you've already done before too. So very
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Awesome, man. Once your name is called, you're selected, you're on an NFL team officially. What are some of your goals year one in the NFL?
Year one, I mean, obviously the first goal is to make the 53 man, contribute. After that, contribute on special teams. After that, contribute on offense, and then ultimately become a starter. But I mean, at first, you just got to take baby steps. You got to get your foot in the building, and then you got to make the team, and then you got to get on the field, and then you got to get the trust, and then you got to keep building up what you can do for that team. So my biggest goal overall is to contribute to a winning franchise next year.
I love that. I love that, man. And when it comes to adaptability, you know, when you're getting a new playbook, it's like me saying, "Hey, man, you're going to Estonia. Go learn the language." You know what I mean? It's quick. How fast are you when it comes to learning the playbook?
I've played in a few playbooks now, so I feel like I could learn it really fast. I played for Gary Kubiak's son. His name's Clay Kubiak in high school. He was my head coach. So I kind of like learning his system. He's now with the 49ers as an assistant quarterback coach, but just learning a whole bunch of different systems, no huddle. Played for 3 coordinators in college too. So I feel like I have a good understanding of where different people are coming from and stuff like that now.
I love that, man. So you got that adaptability already down pat.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Awesome, man. Do you have a favorite scheme that makes your skills pop out the most? I know some people, they, again, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, like they try to put a label on a tight end, and stats don't always tell the full picture, man. But do you have a favorite scheme personally?
Yeah, I like the Shanahan Kubiak offensive wide zone, along with the play action married up perfectly, play action boot. I think that's where tight ends can really start getting open, especially if you're running the ball well. And I think that's when it gets really fun overall.
Love it, man. If you had to, I'm a Madden guy. I don't know if you grew up playing Madden at all, man, but you know, when it comes to tight ends, man, I love throwing to my tight ends. I use them every single game, multiple times. They're usually my number one go-to guy. I won't even play with the team if there isn't a good tight end there. That being said, man, if you had to pick 3 plays that work best for you, and what would those plays be?
I would say 4 verts at number 3, tight end running we call it an opposite. An oppo, opposite hash. And then I really like corner routes. So like a smash kind of deal where you could read high-low. And then let's see. Third one, I like wide zone. Just running a simple wide zone. Just run stuff.
Love it, man. You've had this amazing journey throughout high school, being a huge recruit. You crushed it in college. Even at times that the team didn't pull out with the W, you always gave it your all and left it all on the field, man. What do you want your legacy to be in playing football?
I think really just someone that gave it his all. In a day and age where everyone transferred and did a bunch of different things, I was able to stay at the same school for so long and never kind of wavered from that commitment and kind of ride it out. People that believed in me early on when as a 17-year-old, and then became a 24-year-old, and yeah, that's kind of what I would want my legacy to be.
And that's awesome, man. Who are some people that helped you along the journey to get to where you are and to be successful the way that you are in college?
I mean, my parents, my sister, family, really. I've always had really good friends around me that have been a great building block. And then I also have had great coaches. Like I said, Kubiak in high school, other people in high school, college coaches were great. And it's really that support system around me that's kind of granted me the ability to be in this position.
Love it, man. Love it. You're a pretty cool, calm, collected guy, even in just talking to you now, man. I got to take and ask you, man, what are some things that keep you hungry and motivated to keep going on with this game?
I think really just anytime you turn on a game, like it's just so cool to see NFL tight ends catch the rock, do really cool things, anything like that. I mean, it's just like I know I love this game and I miss it playing already because I haven't played since November 26th, but it just every time I see a game being played and I just realize I want to keep playing so bad because I don't want it to end. That's kind of what just keeps me going all the time.
Love it, man. You got that itch. You got that itch and it got to be scratched.
Itch, man.
I love it. Love it, man. Well, man, Thomas, thank you so much for taking and coming on this show here today. I mean, you're a tight end who you got golden hands. You got golden hands for blocking and pancaking. You don't work at IHOP neither. You bring the restaurant to the field and you eat. So you are amazing. And I'm so excited whether you land on my beloved Miami Dolphins or another team, even if it's a rival team, dude, you have a fan in me for life, man. So very excited to see what the next picture holds for you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that more than you know. And then thank you so much for having me on here today.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, comment below. Let us know how this interview made you feel. Give him a follow on social media. I'm going to have all the stuff down below in the description of this video. And yeah, give him a follow, man. You will definitely get inspired. I know I certainly am. And yeah, man, a couple more months to draft day. And this is a name that you definitely want to watch. Thank you for watching another episode of The Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.